anyway. Sorry. Thank you. Hello, hello. Hiya. Oh, how are you? Hello. Alright, let's try and get this project moving again. Hi guys, so very quick video today. For those of you who don't know, I'm involved in a piano making project in Kigali. So about 5 years ago, myself and my friend Desiree tried to make a piano in Rwanda. We're still trying, we haven't given up, but it feels like we've given up because we haven't really made an update since the beginning of COVID. So the idea was, I used to have a piano, a Soviet piano, and we took it apart, and the idea was to try to create the same thing, because there hasn't been a piano manufacturer, I don't think, in Africa since about 1989, and that was in South Africa. So they eventually went under, and so this would be the first piano built in Africa in about 30 years. And the only one ever made in Rwanda. You'll have to forgive me, I'm sweating quite a lot because the workshop is quite an enclosed space. So we've got a tin roof and it gets quite warm in here, so whenever I come down here I'm sweating quite a bit. But basically we haven't updated this project for a really long time. So in 2007 we started the project and we were flying. We managed to get, this is our prototype here. So in 2017 we, well, Desiree, my partner in this project, he made the case for this piano, and we also found a metal foundry called Chillington, who were absolutely incredible, and Chillington forged a string frame for us. And this was the hardest part of the well, we thought it was going to be the hardest part of the project, because a string frame in a piano holds around 20 tons of tension, and if at any point that warps or bends, then you're screwed. You can't make a piano. So this was an incredible achievement for us. So Chillington copied the Lyrica string frame and we made it. And then the next year in 2018, I strung the piano. So it's very, very out of tune at the moment, because it's, you know, I strung it and tuned it several years ago now, and it needs tightening up, the strings need tightening up. And then the year after that, so 2019 I guess it was, we made these keys, or rather Paulin did here at the project. He laboriously handcrafted all of the keys, and they're lovely. I don't know how well you can see this, but yeah, they're very nice keys. So we've basically made all of that ourselves with the help of our friends, because the important thing for us was not to, you know, if we're going to make a piano here, it has to be made from local things, local resources, because importing things to Rwanda is incredibly expensive and difficult and laborious. So as much as we could make here, we decided to try, because if we were ever going to make more than one piano, i.e. go into manufacturing, then you don't want to be reliant on importing. So the only things that are imported are the pins and the strings, and the balance pins, the balance rail pins and front pins on the piano. What else do I need to say about this project? So then COVID happened, and for about 2 years, I mean, to be fair, we were already running a little bit low on steam. It's been a very long project, it's been quite a costly project. We began with a Kickstarter campaign, we've pretty much run through that now. So, you know, it got quite difficult. There are a lot of personal things involved. You know, my work took up a lot of my time. Desiree has he had another child, and he's also trained as a priest, so there's so many things going on in our lives, and because it's just really the two of us battling on with this, we just kind of really ran out of a bit of steam. We got a bit tired, so we were already a bit tired by the time that COVID hit. And then I think just for 2 years we couldn't do anything because you couldn't open the workshop. It was very, very difficult for us to continue with that project at the time. But now that all of that's cleared up, we don't really have an excuse not to carry on. And we're so close and so far at the same point. It's basically, as you can see behind, we've got a full-blown piano minus the action. So the action is the part with the hammers in it. And the hammers are what you press the keys down, the hammers hit the strings and make the sound. This is a wooden action. So this is a replica of the action frame made out of wood. So we can actually eventually put hammers into that. But the action is very, very difficult to make on a piano. You've got hundreds and hundreds of individual parts all have to work perfectly, so the precision required is incredible. And what we don't want to do is to undertake building an entire action unless we know that the piano over here actually works. So the idea was we took apart the original Lyrica Soviet piano and we took out the action from that in the hopes that because this is a direct replica, we could just put our action straight into that and test the new piano, which hasn't quite worked out. We've got a few other complications along the way, so we'd still like to try and test it with the old action, but in order to do that, over the past 5 years, we've misplaced or lost the action brackets for the piano, which is, the action brackets are the parts that keep the hammers in place in the piano when you're playing it, so help to align it. And those would be very, very helpful to us at the moment. But the problem is, because it's a Soviet era piano and the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore, it's not like we can very easily get those brackets, because even if we found another Lyrica piano, in order to take the brackets out, because the brackets come through the back of the piano, you'd have to take out, let me just try to show you, you'd have to take out the bracket, which would probably mean taking out this frame, which would then probably mean taking out all the pins, which would also mean unstringing it. And that's something you just really can't do. So unless there's a scrapyard, a piano scrapyard or junkyard that happens to have an old Soviet era Lyrica hanging about with the spare brackets in, or unless we can forge something kind of similar, we've got a few problems. Now, on the upside, the guys at Chillington, especially Mohammed, who works at Chillington and helped us to make this frame, are big piano buffs. They really support what we're doing. So Mohammed came down here the other day and took a look at it, and he's got a friend who has precision laser cutting instruments. So there is a chance that they could help us to make our action fit and just to get everything a little bit more precise. And all that requires is me making a video explaining what we need and asking them to help us. And I've just been really lazy recently. I've been making videos about, I don't know, what have I made videos about? Kittens and termites and things that aren't really important to piano building. So I just need to go and get on with that. Yeah, so I thought that maybe by making this video and dissolving into water in the depths of our workshop, that it would put a boot up my arse just to get on with it, really. And yeah, and hopefully take you along on the journey.
This is very nice project.
So Desiree's here with me now. How are you feeling about the project?
Okay.
Yeah? How are you feeling about the piano project?
It's a very, very good project, but it was completed out of the COVID. We could finish before, but because of the COVID, we have stopped. But for now, we plan to restart again, to continue the project. It's a good project which it can take up far.
We're gonna get there, aren't we?
Yeah.
What's the most difficult part at the moment?
No, the difficulty was only the section that which was only difficult, but all the frame is easy to do. As you see, the process is easy. The section that one is very complicated because of the hammer, hammer that small pieces which need some material to make it.
Yeah. And we met a guy called Pierre the other day, who's going back to Switzerland, and he's offered to bring some parts back. So I'm here today. If we can figure out what we need to order, maybe he can bring some parts back.
That will be good. That will be good. He can help us.
Yeah, we rely on the kindness of strangers.
Yeah.
So another reason that I'm quite looking forward to getting everything finalised with the new piano is because this is the old piano. This is my Soviet era Lyrica that basically we took apart to model the new one on. And I've got all of these grand ideas for it. So as you can see, we've already painted what's left of it black. And we've painted the string frame purple because I love playing pianos when they're open and you can see everything working inside. So what I'd like to do is to get that rebuilt, and we've got the strings for it, we've got the parts to rebuild it eventually, but there's no point in rebuilding it until the new one is fully formed, just in case we need any more templates from this. But I just, in my mind, that would be like the amazing dream, would be to have a fully functioning prototype, and then to have my old piano, who's been through so much and donated so much of herself to this project, but to have her fully restored and fully working again. So yeah, it's just a thought, and yeah, here's where it happens. So we haven't given up entirely, we're still going. We've taken a bit of a hiatus, but we're back now, and hopefully bringing you along on this journey with us will just help to get us moving again. So send love.